So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're not over your ex-boyfriend. I mean, are you sure that this glitch is just in your origin story?
Yes, you, young lady. The one with the smeared lipstick who is still clearly obsessed with me. Try your luck at a game of skill. Win daddy's love.
Yeah, don't bother with that one.
She knows she wants to play.
You wanna know who's in my top 10? Yeah. Me, and me again. Run and tell them that it ain't pretend. No fake news, CNN.
Hey there everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood nerd here. My name is Tyra and welcome to my internet home. Today we're going to be talking about the 5th episode of Harley Quinn called Being Harley Quinn. But before we get started, I just want to give a huge thank you to every single neighborhood nerd who has subscribed to me over the past week. We are almost at 60 subscribers, which is unbelievable.
Clap if you care. Clap if you care.
If you're new here, feel free to join the neighborhood and like and subscribe. If you're returning, thank you so much for becoming a part of the journey. We are on the road to 20K by the end of 2020. And back to the topic, the 5th episode of Harley Quinn. I have it right here, so I'm gonna put it on. Whoop! I'm gonna turn the volume up. Okay.
Who's the mind molesters? You are the mind molesters. Are you lost, little girl? No need for tears, monsters. I'll help you find your way.
What the?
Why did that sweet little you attack me?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't sweet at that age, or any age really, but I was a total shit back then.
Which is why the brain
Wow.
sent it. It thinks we're intruders.
Harley! This is Harley! Stop!
What the fuck?
Hey, quit it and I'll tell you where Mom hides the makeup.
What?
Damn it, I was sure that was gonna work.
Come on, stop fucking around and follow me. We got an elevator.
Remember the glitch in my origin story?
Oh, so you think it's like a repressed memory or something?
Right, and it's on that island.
Oh,
Chase that shit
and
down.
what did I just say about going to that island? We are all gonna be burned to death if we don't leave your mind right now.
Okay, fine, then you go. I'm not leaving. In the real world, I'm still catatonic, drooling all over myself.
Okay, she made her choice. Let's go.
I'm going with Harley.
Of course you are.
Yeah,
She's
of
your
course
only
she
friend.
is.
That's true, but that's by design because she's the only human being I think is worth a shit. Hey, Clayface, how many acting jobs did you get before Harley gave you one?
Well, I filled in for the dog that played Air Bud. But he was run over by me the second to the last day of shooting. You know what I mean.
And Psycho, who took you in when literally the worst people on the planet turned you away?
Fine. I'm in.
And King Shark. Let's all remember the time when...
I'm in.
Oh, thank God, because I... All
Aw.
right, doctor, help your patient.
All right. I got a plan.
Okay. This would make a fun video game, honestly. And then here we are with these little Harleys.
If I go down, I'm taking all you little shits with me.
That was not the plan.
But it worked.
Oh, you guys.
God damn. How many of... Like, look at them.
You guys totally should have left.
Harley Quinn, it has been the utmost pleasure to serve in your company.
Please, no. I love you, Frankie.
Hello, it is I,
Wow.
I love you, Frankie.
Ah, screw this. Now how the hell are we going to get to that island? Even try.
When's Daddy done with his business meeting?
That's enough.
Hey, hold on, this shit ain't funny. It ain't funny, but it is.
If you violate the restraining order again, Mr. Muniz will take legal action. Mwah! See you soon, Frankie. So that's why I went to juvie.
Don't. That sign cannot stop me because I can't read.
Here we are, Puddin'. Dive in as Harleen Quinzel and rise as Harley Quinn, my beautiful creation.
Okay, here it comes. Here's when that piece of shit pushes me in the acid.
If you love me, then jump, and you'll be mine forever.
A dream come true, Puddin'.
Oop.
Whoa. Are you okay?
Trying to blame the
I thought he
Joker for
pushed
something
me,
you
But
did.
it wasn't my choice. But it was.
So you told yourself it was out of your control.
Yeah, because it was easier to blame him than accept the truth.
And the truth being what exactly?
You did it for
It was my
love.
choice. That I was in control all along.
Okay, so let's talk about this episode. So we start this episode off with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy looking for a new lair for their crew. And in the process of it, Harley just is not finding a place that speaks to her. They go back to Harley Quinn's they go back to Poison Ivy's apartment, and the real estate agent's asking Harley, what do you like? How can I help you if I don't know, or if you don't know who you are or what you want? So when Harley Quinn's leading up to answer who she is, she freezes because she does not know who she is. In her mind, just shook, which is probably because she spent most of her life under Joker's shadow. So Poison Ivy, Dr.psycho, and the whole crew, they link up, and Dr.psycho takes them into Harley Quinn's subconscious mind, and they try to fix Harley Quinn, which brings us to the theme of the episode, revolving around Harley Quinn's life. And the crew is in what the episode refers to the Museum of Memories, and it shows us some of her childhood memories with her mother and her father, to her high school memories, her graduation, or is that college? I don't know. She does have a PhD, I believe. So it could have been at the end of her college life. And of course, the origin story that we all know with Joker. And she has told herself that the reason she is the way she is because Joker pushed her into the acid or whatever it was that bleached her skin. I should probably know that, but I cannot think of it at the time. So yeah, and she looks to show her crew, this is what Joker did to me, but her memory starts glitching. Why? Because she's telling herself this false narrative, and her brain is calling her out. And that's where we lead to Harley Quinn messing it up in the Museum of Memories and bringing in those devil-ass Harley Quinn children. Meanwhile, their bodies are paralyzed, so I mean, it's kind of like they're in the spirit world. Avatar. But yeah, since their bodies are paralyzed, so since their physical bodies are paralyzed, the landlord, I think his name's like Cy or something, and his boo think that they're all dead, that they, I don't know, did some suicide pact or something like that. And he drags them to this abandoned mall and decides to cremate them. Now, while this is going on, we find out that Harley Quinn adored Frankie Muniz, which, if you guys, I feel like you guys should know. This is a show with the age frame where we should all know Malcolm in the Middle. He was the star of Malcolm in the Middle, and Harley Quinn loved him. But it turns out he got a restraining order against her, and I thought that was funny. And it turns out that he is the antidote to taming those little Harley Quinn devils. Now, side note, I think the crew that Harley Quinn has is definitely one of the best supportive crews that there is. Like, you have Clayface. I love his personality on here. He is just like, you know, a breath of fresh air as a villain. So many versions of him just like portray him as like lifeless and like, you know, I think the Batman, the newer version of the Batman cartoon, I think it was the black guy who turned into Clayface. I mean, he was a pretty good one, but I mean, other than that, like, they don't really portray him with much substance. And Dr.psycho, he cracks me up. He's always the one to like push boundaries, but you know, at the root of his heart, he is caring, and you know, he does the right thing for the people he cares about. I mean, let's not forget they're all villains. And King Shark is literally my favorite one. Well, no, not my favorite, my second favorite, because Poison Ivy holds my favorite. And he always makes me laugh. But yeah, they just mesh together so well, so I really like the chemistry between this cast. I know that it's animated, but still. So Frankie Muniz takes them to this emergency exit, and right as they're about to exit, Harley Quinn sees the island of repressed memories, and she says, this will fix the glitching of my origin story, so I need to go. She goes along, and her crew backs her up. They all take King Shark over across the ocean, and they visit the island of repressed memories, where she finds out herself that she has been telling herself this false narrative, because the truth was that she chose to jump because she did it for love, not the Joker pushing her, not the Joker forcing her. He said, if you love me, then you will jump, and she jumped like that. I mean, yes, did he influence her? Of course, but ultimately she made the choice, and she realized that she made the choice, which leads her to create her own story and create her new origin story that she is going to act on, because no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. So just let that resonate with you. After Harley Quinn decides to own up to her past and decide to change who she is or how she defines herself, they wake up to almost getting burned. Well, Clayface almost getting burned by the fire that Sai and his boo are trying to create. And they wake up not in Ivy's apartment, but in the abandoned mall, and Harley Quinn is like, oh my god, this is it. This is where my new lair will be. And Sai is like, okay, you just gotta give me $100,000 a month. And Harley Quinn's like, you know what? You can either die or I'll give you $1 for this place. And he's like, how about you let me on some of your missions and we'll call it even. And there we go. Harley Quinn and her crew get their own lair. That's where we leave off. So things are really kicking off this season. This episode was fairly calm compared to the other ones, which is probably why I don't have that much like reaction to put on there. But I really did enjoy it, because it really did some building up in the world of this series, and I'm excited for the next episode. It's not my favorite episode, but I think my favorite episode is last week's episode, because that was funny, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So that's my reaction, that's my review. If you like it, feel free to like this video, and if you want to become a part of the neighborhood, always feel free to subscribe and join the neighborhood and become a part of the family. With that being said, embrace the geek and stay thriving.